For this particular time, we head to what is happening online. But we kick started with what is going on Twitter, where His Majesty, the King of Toro, that is Mukama Oyo Nyimba Kabamba Guru Rukidi IV, is wishing Her Royal Highness, the Queen, the Mother, a very happy birthday, and highlighting that he's very grateful for the love, care, and support. We shall forever be grateful. The Lord grant you good health, wisdom, and many more years. God bless you. Wishing a happy birthday to the Mother. And from Smart 24 TV, we say happy birthday to the Queen Mother there, Kemigisa there, the mother of the King. Are you excited about it? It's a Friday. We speak about celebrity life. We speak about fame. We speak about entertainment and making sure we relate to you how this continues to make impact to the people around the country. But away from that, now let's dive into what is going on online. But what is coming up with the Daily Monitor here, things might not seem to be very great coming shortly because taxi operators are hiking fares over the fuel prices, and you can definitely wait for it, or you can share already what you are thinking about these particular hiking prices that are going to be rising because of the fuel prices that are not going down, and this continues to give a pinch to the taxi operators around the country, more so in Kampala. What you need to know is that Rashid Mugenyi Sekandi, who is the chairperson of Uganda Taxi Federation, was anonymously was agreeing to increase the prices, citing the increased cost of operation that come along with the operation of their businesses. And taxi operators across the country have agreed to hike fares over rising fuel prices effective today. Oh. So which is why... Joram, that kind of reaction is that kind of reaction. What does it tell? What were you even thinking about?
There's something I've been thinking about ever since these fuel prices were shooting up, and they have actually shot up drastically in the last 2 weeks. I knew and I was expecting these conductors to actually hike these
prices.
Conductors? Okay, the tax operators in general.
Conductors is the one who
But because you see Ugandans are very, very difficult to challenge. They will keep telling you, Baba Katimujuza taxi, you know of all those stories. But now I think with such a statement, it is quite evident that they are going to use it as an opportunity to add either a 1,000 or
even double price, because when you relate back to COVID-19, because still the cost of operations was a bit, not fair to them. They ended up tripling for the very first time until the Ministry of Works came out to warn them and actually put about a relative standard. So they decreased and doubled the price. And for recent weeks, or at least after the resumption of the economy, we have been operating fairly, meaning those who use transportation in regards to taxis in the country, even borders, because definitely this situation is not going to only cross for taxi operators, but it is going to be reflected on motorists around the country. They're going to tend to see, because it goes back to what is entirely happening in the world, where one sees an opportunity and then they seize it through taking advantage of what is happening. So the border definitely is not going to just put on, get on board and then is still relatively remaining the same price. So it's going to reflect it from the taxis. But also what you need to know around here is that Uganda Taxi Operators Federation, during their meeting yesterday, approved the increment in transport fare, and that is definitely going to start with effective today, and this is also reflecting with the prices hiked in commodities and fuel.
Well, we hope that
Ugandans can live. Government Take us to the next story.
Well, the next one is Uganda is ready to host the East African Central Bank, according to the details that we're having here. The first Deputy Prime Minister, Rebecca Kadaga, who is also the Minister for East African Community Affairs, as well as Mama Samuel Chilmonda here as well. apparently urged the Ugandan government and the private sector to focus on tapping.
There's a senior reporter.
At Smart 24 TV. And when you look at the Ugandan government and the private sector, she has actually urged them to focus on tapping into the DRC and the West African market as the East African community integration process takes root. As Minister in charge of East Africa Affairs, she has also revealed that Uganda is very ready to host the Regional Monetary Institute and the Central Bank of East Africa. And her home country is competing for this right with Kenya, Tanzania, and Burundi as the region prepares to have a single currency as early as 2024. So these are some of the things that we are clearly looking at. Kadaga was speaking and saying that she was speaking on the status of the East African community integration on investments and job creations. And the dialogue was organized by the PSFU, which is the apex body for the private sector in Uganda as well. And so they were actually looking at how we can tap into the opportunities that arise with the East African community. And it being DRC is a new member, there are chances that we're supposed to utilize that particular entry.
Very well, and I just wish us good luck in these particular operations, activities we undertake as a country to make sure we develop better, because all these engagements are helping, you know, the community to develop. And all we want, even the reason why we come to speak to you, all we are driving is that we are advocating for sustainability, sustainable living, a sustainable economy for every individual. And with that, let us now cross to more reports coming from SMB here. And this one is about consultative dialogue framework, which also is focused on the post-COVID-19 recovery for socio-economic transformation. Now, the Ministry for East African Affairs held a national dialogue speaking about that for the private sector, civil society, and other interest groups to highlight on the measures towards the post-COVID-19 recovery towards the social-economic transformation. This is actually the fourth of a kind after the forums that have been organized since the adoption of the consultative dialogue framework on 26 November 2012. The dialogue was officiated by the First Deputy Prime Minister of Uganda, but also the Minister of East African Community Affairs.
The adoption of the consultative dialogue framework is to create an